Hi boys and girls, today we are going to read a story written by Jill Eggleton, illustrated by Trevor Pye, Chicken Food. Mr. McGuire had eggs all over his backyard. He kept those eggs so warm that they cracked and out came chickens. The chickens chirped, chicken food, we want chicken food." "What's chicken food?" said Mr. McGuire. Mrs. McGuire looked out of the window. "You will have to dig up the garden," she said. "You will have to dig up the garden and get slugs and bugs and beetles for crunching, and worms that wriggle and squiggle for munching. That's chicken food." So Mr. McGuire got a spade and he dug up the garden in a flurry and a scurry. The dirt flew so high it covered the clouds. But down fell slugs and bugs and beetles for crunching, and worms that wriggled and squiggled for munching. "Good," said Mr. McGuire. "Chicken food." But it wasn't. It wasn't chicken food for those chickens. They just turned up their beaks and chirped, chicken food, we want chicken food." "What's chicken food?" said Mr. McGuire. Mrs. McGuire looked out of the window. "You will have to dig up the grass," she said. "You will have to dig up the grass and get seeds and weeds and crickets for crunching, and spiders that wiggle and jiggle for munching. That's chicken food." So Mr. McGuire got a digger, and he dug up the garden in a flurry and a scurry. The grass flew so high it covered the sun. But down came seeds and weeds and crickets for crunching, and spiders that wiggled and jiggled for munching. "Good," said Mr. McGuire. "Chicken food." But it wasn't. It wasn't chicken food for those chickens. They just turned up their beaks and chirped, chicken food, we want chicken food." Mr. McGuire was frantic. "What is chicken food?" he wailed. Mrs. McGuire looked out of the window. "Chicken burgers," she said. "That's chicken food." "Chicken burgers?" said Mr. McGuire. Chicken burgers, chirped the chickens, and they did the chicken wobble. So Mr. McGuire made chicken burgers with slugs and bugs and beetles for crunching, and worms that wriggle and squiggle for munching, and seeds and weeds and crickets for crunching, and spiders that wiggle and jiggle for munching. Mr. McGuire's chicken burgers were amazing. The chickens loved them. But those chickens ate so many that they grew and grew and grew. And now Mr. McGuire has humongous hands. The end.